Well, would you believe I touched the key? So anyway, I'm Dark Shades. Another quick introduction, just in case you're watching this and you're not watching it straight after the other one. This is part 2 of why narcissists come back to you when you've got it all together. And the last one got cut off for some reason. Well, not for some reason. My hands were kind of gesticulating and I touched the key and it just switched off. So sorry about that. So anyway, I got up to the point where when you're with a narcissist, they tend to, I don't even know where I was now, but I'll start from the beginning. So when a narcissist reintroduces themselves back into your life, it'll be very matter of fact. It will be almost like, oh, you know, I'm just passing this way. Or, you know, they'll call you up near your birthday and say, oh, you know, I remembered it was your birthday around about this time. You know, do you mind, would you like to go out for dinner? Or I just happened to see your name come up somewhere. And, you know, I thought, oh, I'd stop and give you a call. They don't make it look like they've been stalking you for years or months. They make it look like this is just kind of happened out of the blue. And you just happened to cross their minds. You haven't just happened to cross their minds. They've been working on you for the past months and years. And they've been working out how to get you back. And they've been studying you. If you've got something on social media, if you're on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, any one of those social medias, if you're on there, they'll be seeing what you're putting up, whether or not you're with someone, and they'll be trying to work out, oh, is she single? Is she not? Oh, let's see what she's saying. Does she seem happy? Does she seem as though she's got herself together? Oh, let me try and give her a ring. Depending on your response, you might not answer the call, whereas you might answer the call. It all depends. You might decide to answer the call, and you might get roped in if you're not lucky. Because they're very, very clever. Narcissists are very intelligent people. They know exactly what to do. They have been studying you, girl. And I'm talking to women here, just in case you've got some people say, oh, you got male narcissists, you got female narcissists. I know, but I don't want to keep going back and forth. Yeah, so from a female victim of a narcissist, he would have been stalking you, and he's just waiting for the right time. When your guard is down, when you might be tired of trying to find someone new. A lot of people go back to a narcissist because they can't be bothered to start a new relationship. Something as simple as that. They're more willing to go back to a relationship that is harmful than to try and gamble with a new, refreshing, healthy relationship. Can you imagine that? That's how their esteem has been pushed down. Through childhood traumas, they call them childhood adverse childhood experiences, neglect, abuse, all of those kind of damaging experiences makes you ripe for the narcissist. Ripe. He's just like, ooh, I've got one here. She's eager. She's lonely. She's vulnerable. She's ripe for the picking. Ooh. That's what they're sitting there doing. Ripe for the picking. And they know, because when they mistreat you, when they ignore you, and you keep going back and you keep asking them why they haven't called, and you keep putting up with their bad behavior, they know that you are ripe for the picking. They can have you any way they want you. And you'll be there gasping, like a puppy dog. Oh, please, please, please. Begging for the mistreatment. Wouldn't be surprised if they hit you and then tell you that they love you. You're begging for it. Please, Don't call me so I can get that high. So that when you do speak to me, it feels good. You know when they say it hurts so good? When somebody abuses you and then they give you back a little bit of something. And you're just like, oh, it feels so good. I'm so glad he's acknowledged me. I'm so glad he's welcomed me into his world. I felt so alone, so empty without his abuse. That's what you're doing. That is what you're doing. So a lot of times when you're going back to a narcissist, you have to remember that he or she is using a manipulative strategy to get you back. They're playing on your weakness. They're playing on the fact that you might have a little compassion and you're sensitive. And they're playing on that nurturing spirit of yours. And so when they don't call you and you start getting worried, why haven't they called you? Because what you start thinking is, there's something wrong with me why they haven't called me. What could be wrong with me? What have I done? How can I do things better? And especially if you're feeling lonely, you're feeling vulnerable, you're afraid to start over with someone new. And like I said, you were neglected or abandoned as a child. If you've gone through all of that, you don't feel deserving of a healthy relationship. And what the narcissist has to offer is better than nothing. All these little digs they give at you every now and then. Or your hair doesn't look right. Or you are putting on weight. You're getting a bit fat. Well, when are you going to go and have your face done? When are you going to go and get your nose done? Aren't you going to get a boob job? Aren't you going to get a bum job? You know, that dress doesn't look nice on you. Oh, I don't like you in that. Constant digs. Oh, you're not really ugly when your hair is like that. Who told you you were ugly with your own hair? That's how they do it. They twist it around. They're very, very clever. Don't tolerate any criticism. None. If it's not positive feedback, don't accept it. So, repetitive compulsion I've spoken about, the compulsion to repeat a situation. That's in part 1. You'll have to go back and see that. But it's more or less where people get a compulsion to return to a destructive relationship. And they rationalize and normalize it so that an unhealthy relationship is normal for them. So anytime you notice a recurrent pattern in your life, it's worth considering that you may have a compulsion to repeat it. So if you do find you are returning to destructive relationships, if you know that the way someone's treating you isn't right, doesn't feel good, and yet you're still trying to attach yourself to that, you have to question, why am I doing that? What is it about this behavior why I cannot get over the fact that I deserve better? Why do I want to hang on to someone who is ignoring me? Why do I want to do that? Who's criticizing me? Why am I holding on to that? Ask yourself that question. What are you telling yourself that makes that kind of behavior okay? Because it's not okay. And you don't minimize it. A lot of people minimize it. Oh, well, I don't take no notice of it anyway. When he tells me I'm fat, I just blow it off. You don't blow it off. It goes up in here. You start looking down at yourself. You start thinking, oh, I do really need to lose weight. Yeah, I have been eating a bit much. Yeah, I do really need to change my hairstyle. Yeah, he's right, you know. My hair doesn't look right. That's what happens. You start accommodating them. And no matter what you do, it's not going to make a difference. Because it's all a ploy for control. And it's all to show them how much you admire them. How far are you going to go to show that you love them? That's what they want to know. They don't care about you. They want to know how far they can push you to prove that you love them. Because remember, they're the narcissist. They need love. That's the fuel. So when you are endorsing all of that bad behavior, they're like, yeah, bring it on, bring it on. You know, I'm going to slap you up a little bit more. I'm going to ignore you a bit more because I know you're going to keep coming back because you need me. You need it. You love it. You love it when I abuse you. You love it when I ignore you. You love it. That's why you keep coming back. So keep coming back. Feed me. Feed me. Feed my ego. A narcissist only wants someone to admire them, but the behavior does the opposite. In the end, you do see the light, but often it's very hard to get away from a narcissist. Very, very hard. If you get away from them, you better thank your lucky stars. But it's very hard to get away from them. I've known people, they just can't. They're stuck with them. Can you imagine? And the manipulation of the narcissist is so subtle. They claw at you. It's just like a drip feed process of chipping away at your self-esteem day by day by day. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Oh, you're not intelligent, are you? If you were intelligent, you would know that. Chop, chop, chop. Oh, you're not, you're just a little bit overweight. You're not too overweight. I still love you anyway, even though you are overweight. Chop, chop, chop. You've got to ask yourself, why are you in that situation? And like I said, most people can't get away from narcissists for love or money. So you have to learn how you are going to retain yourself, retain your dignity, retain your self-respect and your self-worth, and not be affected by them. Don't respond to them. You just become emotionally dead to them. And that's the only way, hopefully. If you become emotionally dead to a narcissist and you don't react to any of their taunts and whatever it is they're doing, they might decide to leave you because they need something. They need a reaction. And if they ain't getting a reaction, they'll go. That's the only way. But they'll come back. But once they're gone, you have to make sure you keep that door locked. And that's all for now. Bye-bye.